What isn't nearly as bad as Reddit would have you believe? Your relationship. I mentioned an ex being emotionally immature and someone said he's a covert narcissist. Not every relationship conflict is a sign that someone is abusing you. My mental health. Not everything means I'm a sociopath with ADHD. As a father, taking my daughters to the park. Nobody ever thought I was a predator or looked at me suspiciously. If anything, most people gave me positive vibes because they liked seeing a father actively involved. Nor was it strange to see other men going to social events and/or having a large or multiple friend circles. Just because someone is an acquaintance and not a best friend is not a bad thing, you can still enjoy their company. You do not get explosive diarrhea when you eat Taco Bell. Working through relationship problems. Seeing both sides of an argument. God, this site runs on absolutism. Agreeing to disagree and moving on. The average Redditor gives advice like being correct and proving one's correctness is extremely important, even in causal conversation. As someone who used to be that way, I cannot emphasize how much less stressful life is if you're willing to just move on and compromise even if you think you're 1000 right. Obviously there are things you should never compromise on, but those are a lot easier to recognize when you let the small disagreements go. Everything. This site loves to complain and take everything to the extreme. The 9-to-5 cubicle job. As someone who thought he'd do manual labor and retail bullshit their entire life, I love my office job. Extroverts. I got adopted by one once. You know what I did? I got out of my comfort zone. I met new people. I tried new things. I had a blast. Quit giggling over cancelling plans last second and fucking try saying yes sometime. Life. A lot of the stuff our gaming complains about. Stepping on a Lego. Yeah, it fucking hurts. So does a lot of stuff. Not having a B-day. Buying a new car instead of a used one. Going to college if you have an actual career goal in mind. I know a few single fathers. Not a single one has ever felt in any way judged for taking their kids places. They're just a dad at the park. To hear Reddit tell it, every single father on the planet is immediately arrested and thrown in prison without trial for being near kids. Life in America. We absolutely have our problems, but so do all countries. Reddit loves to compare the most awfully designed suburb of a terrible city with, like, downtown Stockholm lol. The United States. Go to a major sub and ask a question about the USA and you'd think it's a dystopian hellhole. Being a parent raising a whole human from scratch is freaking exhausting, yeah, but kids are also hilarious, sweet, fun, loving, weird, quirky, and awesome, all of which massively and unequivocally outweighs hardship. Obvious disclaimer: if you don't want kids, you probably won't have this experience. If you do want kids, prepare for the worst and enjoy the best. It's a life-changing kind of joy. To clarify, I don't think anyone should be talked into having kids if they don't want to. How horrible America is lol. I love my life. Age gaps in relationships. Not saying they're all okay, but a lot of Reddit seems to believe they are all inherently abusive. The United States of America. Using emojis. Reddit seems to hate it for some odd reason. The amount of people who hold some shitty opinion. No, it's not the majority of that sex, race, gender, religion, whatever who feel that way. It's just those assholes tend to be loud, and Reddit is a good way for them to find each other, making people think more people are like that than actually are. Rejection. I'm circumcised and I've had a very happy and fulfilling life in which I also love my parents. According to Reddit, I'm actually deeply traumatized and my parents are monsters who hate me. America. Any large city, e.g. as described in any places I'll never visit thread. The ability for a person to work hard and improve their quality of life over time. Texas. I've seen people here actually compare it to Iraq. Your daily life there is no different than really any other state. Local government in the big cities is very blue, rural areas are red, etc. Your relationship, probably. On Reddit, a minor disagreement with your husband is grounds for divorce. All Republicans are bumbling redneck caricatures while also somehow calculating evil Bond villains. All jobs should be quit the second your boss asks you to go slightly out of your way on a one-off situation. And everyone born after 1980 are literally treated like victims of the transatlantic slave trade. Literally everything in the world isn't anywhere near as bad as Reddit would have you believe. Women. Outside. I went outside today, and it was great. Seen some trees, seen a few people, I saw a dog and a cat. We'll go outside again. The United States in general, the southern states of the US in particular. Living in the US. You'd think it's Haiti. On a light note, Nickelback. Are they the best band ever? Hardly. But they're not as awful as Reddit paints them to be. I can think of many more bands that have much worse music. 1. Introverts. 2. Extroverts. Just living. This place is obsessed with suicide and really glorifies it. Being successful in anything. Reddit will tell you that unless you were raised by a one-legged wolf in a third world country, while battling crippling depression, and having an extreme physical deformity, that you didn't earn it. Ducks, according to your username. The official Reddit app. Just kidding, it's terrible. Earth. The Big Bang Theory. It's a sitcom that gradually gets worse year to year, but it's not the worst TV show ever. I think a portion of Redditors can't handle having things they enjoy being made fun of. The entire anti-work sub is a false reality, but man, it's hilarious. Preferred pronouns. People act like they get aggressively corrected for using the wrong pronoun 10 times every day. In reality, it's really not that big of a deal. The Beatles. According to Reddit, they're incredibly overrated. Which is just an astonishing thing to say. Vegans. Most things. Reddit seems to take everything to the extreme. Democrats are horrible, horrible, ignorant people, Republicans are horrible, horrible, ignorant people, all cops are bad, all men are chads or incels, all women are controlling or bubble heads, your partner is definitely cheating, gaslighting, disrespecting you, no one should be married, everyone should be married. The United States of America. Chicago. Life in general. Women. Medium well steak. Good question. Being married and having kids. Having children. It's one of the most rewarding decisions I've ever made. Literally everything. That expecting your kids to contribute to the household within reason by doing chores, babysitting younger siblings, and sharing a bedroom when the family is poor and doesn't have lots of bedrooms is abusive and parentifying the kids. Age gaps. If a person is a consenting adult, it is by definition not pedophilic, no matter what the age difference is. And while I personally wouldn't be 40 and date a woman half my age, I've seen Redditors complain about a 10-year age gap between a 30-year-old and a 40-year-old. Like what? A 30-year-old person is perfectly capable of making their own informed life decisions, and 10 years is not that bad in that case. Liberal arts degrees. The Big Bang Theory. It's just a generic sitcom. People of the opposite political beliefs from you. Dating. Everything. Reddit and the internet is a catastrophizing machine. Joe Biden. I'm sorry you're not getting all that you want and then some. I'm 42 years old and that's just not how it works. America.